Hi, my name is Amanda Fields, your proud RCAW Executive Director, here today with the amazing Rob Martin with Capital One, who will help you maximize your return on business credit cards with either cash or miles. Rob, please take it away.
Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate you having me and giving me the opportunity today to share my knowledge and what I've learned about maximizing credit card returns. So I just want to kind of start this out by saying I understand there's lots of different credit cards out there. So, and this perspective is going to come obviously much more heavily from Capital One, just because I'm so much more familiar with it. I also work for a bank, so there's a lot of regulations of what I can and can't share, especially about the competition. They even regulate what we can say about our own product. So it gets even more difficult to share any detailed information about any competitor products. But I will do my best to try and keep it to where hopefully it just sparks some thought in you and in what maybe you are using for your credit cards, and how, some questions to yourself of how can I maximize my credit card spend, whether you're using Capital One or some other credit card program. So hopefully you get something out of it, and please feel free to jump in, ask questions as we go, or we'll have some time at the end to answer some questions as well. So we have a few kind of technical difficulties with the videos that I've shared. So I'm going to kind of talk through those videos. There's just a couple of them, but I think you'll all be kind of familiar with them anyway. So, but I'm just going to have to talk over the video part of it as they might play. So let me share my screen. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. And Amanda, chime in with you with anything if there's questions or something in the chat, or however they want to do it. So just let me know.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Throughout the presentation. So again, this is about maximizing your credit card return. So you might just a quick bio on me. Hopefully it does have a little bit of relevance, but I grew up over in Cashmere, Washington. It's over by Wenatchee, Eastern Washington, that a lot of you probably have heard about. It's on your way to Lake Chelan. So, but I grew up there. My father owned a small grocery store. He had a chain of 10 grocery stores from Omak to Tri-Cities. And in about 1994, I purchased just the one in Cashmere from him, and I ran that one and started my own little chain. I had 5 at one time, from Cashmere all the way down to Tri-Cities as well. So for 15 years, I was owning and operating these businesses as a small business owner. So I can really relate to a small business owner and the struggles you guys have with financing and cash flow and just the day-to-day operations of running a business. When I sold the grocery stores in 2009, I came over to Seattle. I opened a CrossFit gym. So I ran that business for 5 years. I did not have to join Match.com because the CrossFit gym was kind of my dating site. Worked out pretty well. I met my new wife there, and then sold that business. And then I opened 3 Jersey Mike franchises here in the Seattle area. So I ran those for about 4 years. Had the guy that owns most of the Jersey Mikes here in the Seattle area wanted to buy them. So I sold those. I was kind of tired of managing 20-year-old kids, as you guys can imagine, and also probably have experience with. And then I actually took my first corporate job of my life at 50 years old, 5 years ago, with Capital One. And so the way I actually talked them into giving me this job, or sold them on getting this job, was the fact that I was a small business guy and that I could relate to and talk to small business owners and been through the same struggles and kind of totally understand their position they're in. So, which is very true. On the personal side, I do have 5 kids, 3 from my first marriage. They're all out of the house and over 20. And then I have 2 young ones. They're actually now a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old here at home. And I live in West Seattle. I work out of West Seattle. I'm local here. And I still call her my new wife of 9 years here in West Seattle. And I'd love to be on the golf course, on the water. So anything here in Seattle in the summertime is absolutely perfect for me. and just a little bit more of my personal life. So I'd just like to share with you. These are my two kids, young ones. This is Hayes and this is Mia. This is their first day of kindergarten. Mia's first day of kindergarten. Hayes' first day of preschool this last year. And they are just, these are the two that keep me running now. I am chasing these guys all over all the time. Here's the other, here's my 5 kids all together with me in my backyard last summer, just creating some good memories, doing a little barbecue. And then my mom just turned 87 years old as of yesterday. Yes, actually it was on Sunday. It was on the same day as Mother's Day. So, but that's me hanging out with her in Wenatchee. She lives in Wenatchee. That's overlooking the Columbia River. And then this is the new wife of 9 years. This is Annie, and we are getting ready for a little Christmas celebration there. And then I was lucky enough in 2019, me and 4 of my buddies were able to go to the Masters, and that was the year that Tiger did his Tiger March, and we were able to watch the last day of the Masters. So that was a lot of fun. So that's a little bit about the day in the life of me. So why would we be here and even talking about credit cards, right? There's a lot of cards to choose from, a ton of them out there. A matter of fact, I only have 3 brands on here. I have our Capital One, American Express, and Bank of America, and I only have 3 of the options and 2 of ours on here. Each one of these has many more options for a small business, so it's like it can be very confusing. It can be very just hard to understand. Of gosh, which card program should I go with, and which one? How can I maximize my program? So, regardless of what program you're with, up here in Seattle, the reason I chose Bank of America and American Express is because those are the ones that we normally will be competing against up here. So you guys may be carrying these in your wallet today. So hopefully, again, we go out through this process. Hopefully you can get some ideas in your head of, hey, how can I maximize it, whether it's with Capital One, American Express, or Bank of America. And why should we be really talking about it? Is it even really significant that we're talking about credit cards and what your return is on credit cards? And I'm here to tell you it is, because I've seen it every day I see it, and every day I see people that are really taking advantage of it. And every day I see a lot of people that aren't taking advantage of it. So let's just talk about what rewards can actually do for you, and why it's important to even think about it or trying to even maximize it. So our Capital One Spark Cash Plus card that we're going to talk about more in a minute, and our Miles card, our Venture X card, both come with the Cash card is 2% cash back, unlimited, and the Miles are 2 miles for every $1. So just look at, if you spend $100,000 a month, which in the roofing industry, you guys can easily do that, and I'll show you in a minute what a local roofer is doing. But even $100,000 a month on the card equals $24,000 in cash back in your wallet on a yearly basis. Gets pretty significant. On the mile side, again, it's easy math. It's 2.4 million miles, which is basically worth $24,000 worth of travel. So that's a lot of pretty nice travel at $100,000 a month. And as you can see, when you bump it up and you start putting your really big vendors on there, say $500,000 a month, that's $120,000. So it's really can be pretty significant, or 12 million miles. Again, $120,000 worth of travel, which can buy some pretty nice places, I think, pretty nice vacations. So it is very significant, and there's lots of different ways to maximize it. Now you might say, well, gosh, how can I spend $500,000 a month on a credit card? Well, here is a local roofing company right here in Seattle, not to be named, of course, but you can see the previous balance is just the balance of what was on their statement at the time of their statement came out, but they made multiple payments throughout the month. So in the last month, again, this is this year, this is April through May. The month before, they put $575,000 on the credit card. Pretty significant. Okay. This month they did 100 less, but they put $475,000 on the card, which again, pretty significant. This particular client has a limit of $250. They're obviously making payments. These guys make a payment every Friday. That's just their MO. That's how they do it. Or they'll put the charge on and they'll just pay the charge right off the following week, depending on when they do it. So you can see from this, they have a rewards balance of $26,821 for this period on that $45,000 or $475,000. they were able to earn $9,501 in rewards. Added to their previous balance, obviously 26. And we'll talk a little bit later too about how you get these rewards as well. We'll talk about that. So now you might say, well, gosh, what vendors are they putting on there, right? You guys all know who your big vendors are. So this particular client did this in just 5 transactions. 2 obviously big ones with Stoneway, almost 200,000 a piece. One was 200, one was 196. The other Beacon Supply, Dunlake Lumber, and ABC Supply. All these vendors accept the card without charging a fee to this client. So as you can see, this is how he got to the 475. The month before, he probably had a bigger Stoneway, or he might have had another ABC supplier or whatever. But he was able to capture just these vendors, $9,500 in cash back to him. So again, in the Northwest, we run into MasterCard and Amex. So everything I'm sharing with you here can be found on the public website. So this is off the public website of Bank of America. So you can go do some research on this type of stuff if you want. But you can see this is their best cash card option. So right now they're offering, this was pulled from yesterday, they were offering $300 for a bonus when you spend $3,000. And they were giving you 1.5% cash back on all purchases, which is great, and no annual fee. And then this is great too. No limit on the amount of cash back you can earn or cash rewards, and the cash rewards don't expire. So they're unlimited as well. But theirs is just the 1.5% and a $300 bonus offer. So I will just show you on our program. Our program on our cash one is called Spark Cash Plus. So again, this one you can earn 2% cash back on absolutely everything, and it's unlimited. So that means you could spend $1 million a month and you're going to get $20,000 cash back for that month, or anything, doesn't matter. It's just unlimited. There's also no restrictions or limits on where you can do it. So doesn't work at some vendors, and it doesn't work at others. This works at every single vendor that you can find to put on the credit card. Our cash bonus we're offering is $1,200 cash back. And that basically, once you spend $50,000 within the first 6 months, we drop $1,200 right into your cash bucket. Again, we'll be talking about your cash and how you get that out here in a little bit. And we also offer a $200 yearly bonus. Now, the fee for this card is $150 a year. But if you spend a total of $200,000 throughout the whole year, which again, you guys can do that in 1 month pretty easily, we give you a $200 yearly bonus. So basically, we're going to pay you $50 if you are willing to use the credit card. This card also comes with no preset spending limit. So just kind of hold that in the back of your mind if you don't know what that means, because we're going to talk about that after we talk about the Miles card, because both cards come with this feature of no preset spending limit. So again, we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes here as well. The other thing this cash card comes with, it comes with a great travel portal that you have access to. And you earn actually 5% cash back when you book hotels and rental cars through our Capital One travel portal. If you guys have ever heard of Hopper, they are the ones that run our travel portal. So Hopper's our travel portal gurus that go through, they give you guaranteed lowest price. They tell you when to buy, they tell you when not to buy a ticket. So it's just a really great travel portal that's actually new to Capital One, a new joint venture that's been done in the last 6 months. So with both card programs, you have free employee cards. So it comes up to 99 employee cards that come with the card for free. Some of the other programs out there will charge $25 a card, $50 for employee cards per card. These are all free, and you can control each one of those cards individually as far as the maximum amount of credit limit you want to give for each one of those employees. So you get to manage those online individually. As with most all credit cards, I think you guys all know you have zero fraud liability. So if you have fraud on the account and somebody goes up and charges $100,000 and it wasn't your charges, you're not liable for that. Here's this new commercial that we have. I'll go ahead and start it, but you guys aren't going to be able to hear it, but you might be able to, you might recognize it. You guys watch, I can hear it, so I need to. You guys watch any on TV, much TV at all, you're going to see this commercial. Because it just came out about a month. But it's obviously no present spending. Again, we'll talk about that. This guy particularly, he takes his 2% cash back and he reinvests it. It is, which is what a lot of people do. So again, you've probably seen that. You've probably seen that if you watch much TV. So let's talk about redeeming cash. So when you go to redeem the rewards, this is where the maximizing your credit card return can really make a big difference on how much you're getting in return for what you're putting on your credit card. So there's many different ways you can do it. The first one I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to start here with is redeeming experiences, right? So you would click on that, you would go to rewards and you would say, you would click on this redeem for experiences. And there is literally thousands of events and concerts that Capital One has access to because we're sponsor a lot of this stuff, including things like this year's the Major League Baseball All-Star Game is here in Seattle. So you could go on here, you can buy tickets for the All-Star Game right now with your cash reward. So you have access to some tickets that aren't accessible to just the general public. So that's actually, I've used that a couple of times on a couple of experiences. It's pretty cool. You can book a trip. So you can go on, you can click this button. It takes you to our travel portal. You can book a trip and say, I want to use my rewards to pay for that trip. So you can do it that way. You can redeem with PayPal. So you can tie this account to anybody that has a PayPal account and you can pay anybody via PayPal. You can also tie it to an Amazon account. You can pay any bills you'd like to pay on Amazon. You can also click this one and you're going to get gift cards. So it's over 50 gift cards of all the major retail players, Home Depot, Staples, all that stuff. And I have clients that will do this for, say, Christmas parties and give them away at Christmas parties or just for employee rewards. You can also cover purchases. So this we call purchase eraser. So say you go buy a hammer at Home Depot and you're like, okay, I want to use my rewards to pay for that hammer. You just go right onto your you click this button, it brings up all your charges and you just say, I don't want to pay for that hammer. And it just basically it gives a credit for the amount of that hammer. So it's called that purchase eraser. You can also move rewards. So you can move cash rewards to any other Capital One cash rewards card. So if anybody else has a Spark card, you can move it to their Spark card. If anybody, you can also do like Quicksilver card. So I have some owners that say will get their son or daughter a Quicksilver card, and then they can just go hit move rewards, and they can take whatever $5,000, and they can move it right to any other again Capital One cash rewards card. And then the one that actually most of my clients use is this redeem for cash. And this is really the way you maximize your return out of all these options. This is your maximum return, depending on what you do with the cash. And it is totally up to you how you as the owner want to run this, run your business and your personal finances. But when you hit redeem for cash, basically it says, there's a button that says send me a check, and it gives the address where it's going to send the check, usually your home address. And you do that, and 10 days later in a blank white envelope, a check shows up with only your name on it. The business name is not on the check. And at the end of the year, Capital One does not send a 1099 with the check. We're not required to. We're not kind of escaping anything, or it's totally legit and legal, but we're not required to send a 1099. So again, that's the way most of my clients take the check. And then a lot of times my clients will send me an awesome picture of them on the beach, or I got a phone call 2 months ago from a client, his wife, actually, she was on the beach in Maui and just thanked me so much for the 2% cash back because of the trip they were having. They were having a great time. And this is a true story. The next slide, that's not the real person, but this really did happen. But I got a picture, it's very similar to this, that said, "Thank you very much. I love my new ride," that I got back with my 2% cash back. So true story, not the true person. And I'm glad it's a little blurry, so nobody can get in trouble on that. But so those are really cool when you see this feedback of what the 2% cash can do. Again, totally up to you as the individual of how you want to redeem your 2% cash back. And you take it anytime you want. On the travel side, so there's this Bank of America, we run, again, Northwest here. A lot of people love their Bank of America that's tied in obviously with Alaska Airlines. So right now, again, this is off their website. They are offering 30,000 online bonus points when you spend $3,000. So it's kind of similar to their cash offer. You're getting 1.5 points. So this is where it starts getting a little more difficult to figure out what your return is. But you're getting 1.5 points for $1 spend. Again, this is no limit, which is great on the amount of points you can earn, and they don't expire. So pretty awesome. On the Amex side, this is a card that a lot of you may be familiar with, but this is the Platinum card from American Express. Now, currently, again, this was pulled yesterday. They were offering 120,000 membership rewards. And that is when you spend $15,000 on eligible purchases. So you start getting into a lot of the detailed information of how this card works. You can see you get 1.5% points again on eligible purchases in key business categories. So now you start getting into this where it starts getting pretty detailed on what you're getting points for and what you're not getting points for. So when we've done the deep dive on with these two competitors, or even any of them, and again, it kind of depends on the return. Kind of depends on how you're earning the rewards and then how you're spending the rewards. But all the deep dives we've ever done with the clients on any program from the competitors range somewhere between 0.75% and 1.25% return, and rarely do you get above that 1% return. But if you just really, but it takes some deep math to understand. Again, with all the different things you got going on with how you can redeem them and how you can earn them, especially when you get into American Express. This program, Bank of America, it's a little simpler, but still it gets into some weeds as far as what you're earning and then how you're spending them as well. So again, our program, we just launched 2 weeks ago our Venture X for Business. So you guys, so this is another video that I'm not going to show because you guys can't hear it, but you've probably seen Taylor Swift with our Venture X card on our personal card, where you can earn 2 miles for every $1. Well, this has been out for over a year now, the Venture X card. So what our company has done is we piggybacked on Venture X and we came up with our business card. And so we called it Venture X Business. So the Venture X business card, right? You earn 2 miles for every $1. So we go by miles, but you basically earn 2 miles for every $1. And again, we have that no preset spending limit that we'll talk about in just a minute. So on this, the travel rewards, you get 2 miles for every $1. If you book through the Capital One travel portal that I talked about earlier, you get 5 miles on flights and 10x miles on hotels and rental cars. So it really bumps up if you're going to use the travel portal. And again, this is about maximizing your return. This is how you maximize your return. You take advantage of these extra 5x miles, the extra on the flights, and the extra 10x miles on the hotels and rental cars. Now your 2% start getting better than 2% if you really are using it correctly. Our early spend bonus, you can earn up to 300,000 bonus miles, and we have that broken down into 2 different buckets. You earn 150,000 miles when you spend 30,000 in 3 months, and then another 150,000 miles when you spend 500,000, and that can be within the first 12 months. So you got 12 months to earn the total of the 300,000 bonus miles, which is basically $3,000 worth of travel. Pretty aggressive offer. Again, this one comes with a no preset spending limit. We'll talk about that again in a minute. Excuse me. And then the redemption options. So our redemption options are much easier to use and more simple. You can use them on any airlines you want, any hotel you want, any flights you want. Basically, you can use it on anything to do with travel, VRBO, any of those type of programs. You can use the redemption of your miles for that. And we'll talk in a minute about how you redeem those. And then on a yearly basis, you get 10,000 bonus miles. So that's basically $100 towards travel. And you also, every time the first part of the year, or the first time of the year that you use our travel portal, we will give you a $300 credit. So basically there's $400 worth of credits right there on a yearly basis that you can earn. Now you'll see at the bottom of this next slide, the annual fee is $395. So if you remember that the Amex was $695, ours is $395, but just in those two bonuses right there, we're giving you back $400. So we're basically, again, paying you if you're going to use the card. So some of the other benefits, again, the travel portal. You can use this portal. Again, it gives you these features like the price prediction for flights, price matching. So they match the best price on flights, hotels, and rental cars. And then business grade capabilities. Basically, that means you can earn rewards on all your employee cards, on the virtual cards. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And also sync all your transactions and data with accounting software and pay your vendors with ease. So then also what comes with this is the airport experience, right? So we'll give you $100 credit towards TSA pre-check every time you got to re-sign up for that. So there's another $100 like every 3 or 4 years. And then you also get access to the Capital One lounges, which we are building out currently across the United States. 2 open, I believe 5 more are slated to be open throughout the United States. But you also have access to the lounges, the Priority Pass lounges, which they are in every airport, several in many airports. There's 1,300 of them across the deal. So you're never too far from a Priority Pass lounge, and you get access to that with this card. So redeeming miles. Again, this is another easier feature than most cards, and the people just that have the card love it because of the ease of use of it. And also you can, again, get significantly more than the 2x returns just depending on how you use it. So again, you use our portal for hotels and rental cars, and you're going to get the 10x miles and then the 5x on flights. Because the other ways you can redeem these, you can also get a statement credit for travel purchases made with your card. You can redeem, again, you have access to the ticket, the online tickets, the dining, the music, and the Capital One entertainment deal that we talked about for the cash card. You can also exchange it for the gift cards like the cash. And you can also use the purchase eraser to redeem your miles as a statement credit, which is actually, again, we're talking about how do you maximize your return. This is how you would maximize your return. You would use this purchase eraser feature because you could go buy a Hawaiian airline ticket for $500 to Hawaii. Then you can go on your Capital One portal and you can say, I want to purchase erase that $500. So now you're getting credit for the purchase and you're getting the 5x on the miles. And then now you're using your miles to pay for it. So you're getting it, so you can double dip basically on earning them, and then you can redeem them, but you're getting credit for actually buying them when you're not buying them. It's a great feature once you learn to use it. And then transferring, you can transfer. We partner with all these airlines that you can transfer 1-to-1 points or miles to miles. Now, again, you're earning 2 miles on the front end of these points for our miles. So you're still getting your 2x there. And now you can put them, if you're traveling internationally on one of these airlines, the best way to do this to maximize your miles is to drop our miles into their miles program and use them that way. Again, a really great feature that people that travel a lot just really have found it very valuable. Okay, the no preset spending limit. Again, this video kind of talks about how the no preset spending video works. And so I'm just going to explain it to you. So the no preset spending limit is basically, it doesn't mean it's unlimited, but it might feel like it's meant to feel like it's unlimited, basically. So you get the card, you apply for it. It comes with some type of ceiling, but it's not a firm $30,000, $50,000, $100,000, $250,000 credit limit. It basically moves with your spending needs and your spending and paying habits. So the more you spend and pay, the higher that credit limit goes. And we can get that credit limit all the way to $500,000 for a monthly basis credit limit. And you can do that without sending one piece of financial documentation into Capital One. At the time of application, it's going to ask you some personal information and it's going to ask you for the business information. So, but none of that is ever asked for, and you can take this card clear to $500,000 a month. So it really has this spending power capabilities to do the big spending we're talking about without having to go to underwriting and always asking for a higher limit or anything like that. And this feature is on both our Spark Cash Plus card and our new Venture X business card. So it's a really great feature. Happy to get more details and get this video if somebody would like some more information about how that works. So a couple of the other things, the features that both these cards come with, they both come with virtual cards, which is really important if you're paying anybody online and really simple to use. Again, you go on our website, you create a virtual card for a vendor, say it's Home Depot, if you can pay them online. And now you have just a credit card number strictly for Home Depot that's only used for Home Depot. You can control this card totally, whether you want to use it once, whether you want to continue to use it if it's a vendor you use all the time. And this really helps against fraud. You guys all probably have credit card programs already. You probably all had a fraud issue at some point, and you probably understand that fraud is no fun. It's terrible when you show up to the gas station or your employee shows up to a gas station and they can't make a purchase and they can't get anywhere because they don't have any other option, right? So this really helps prevent fraud in a big way and is really highly recommended, again, for any vendors that you're paying online. This comes, again, with both programs. Another benefit both programs come with is this Capital One business shopping, right? Business deals. So you can see, if you looked up all these categories, we have 164 vendors that we have partnered with. And a lot of them are probably somebody you've heard of, and a lot of them are probably ones you're already using. So just an example, if you look at this FedEx one, if you're not using any FedEx discount and you're doing much FedEx at all, you're almost getting 45% off. It's huge. So, and some of them are larger and some of them aren't, but definitely if you have this card program, it's worth going through each one of these sections, and you can see there's stuff for business, travel, administration, technology, all the way down, right? Definitely worth just going through this list at some point and being like, boy, yeah, I use that vendor. Another one, Verizon Wireless is on here. So if you are a Verizon customer, I believe it's a 13% reduction off your current account. So, so things like that. Again, these are benefits that help you maximize your credit card return. You would go through these and just be sure you're using them. Again, now the 2% is getting better than 2%, quite a bit better than 2%. Another affiliation we've done is with Concur. So we have a partnership with Concur. If you have a lot of employee cards out there and you are, say you got 20 cards out there, and at the end of the month, all 20 of these people have to turn in invoices with some handwritten note of what they spent it on, and you're trying to reconcile that, or your accounting people are, you guys know what a pain in the butt this process is. And it's awful if you don't have some type of program in place. So we partner with Concur. You can get a reduced rate from Concur if you use it with our credit card program, and they integrate together. So the software is all integrated very nicely. But basically, your employee goes out, runs a charge, say at the gas station, immediately they're going to get a text on their phone. Hey, you just made a purchase. Please capture the receipt with your camera and then detail out what this expense was for. All done electronically, all meant to increase time, right? 43% less time to complete expense reports. These are averages. 65% more expense reporting submitted, and 50% of the time less to reimburse employees. So this has been, I have a handful of clients on this, and the ones that were not using anything, and now they're using this, again, are really enjoying this. Just the time it takes them really at the end of the day to come up with the expense reporting for their employees. Another partnership we've done is with a company called Melio. So I don't know if anybody heard of Melio, but they are basically a bill pay service for business. So whether a company takes a credit card or does not take the credit card, Melio will pay them via check or ACH if they will not accept the credit card. And then you have your choice if you would like to put on that vendor invoice on the credit card or not. So even though they send them a check, you can still put that check onto our credit card, earn the 2% cash back. Where this really works well is if you're writing a lot of checks. Now this automates this to where you are just inputting the information. There's a chance for you or somebody else to review it, but you are not having to print out 100 checks, put them on the owner or somebody's desk, having them sign 100 checks, stuffing them in the envelopes, taking them to the post office, and relying on the post office to send these checks and your vendor gets it whenever they might get it, right? This takes all that out of it. It's all, we live in 2023. It's all electronic, right? And it's all done on the computer. It's very streamlined. So it works really well if you're writing a lot of checks or doing a lot of ACHs. But you can also capture that 2% cash back on absolutely every invoice that you might have. Now, they do charge a fee. Melio charges a 2.9% fee to do it. So if you take the difference, there is a 0.9% fee. So somebody's like, well, why would I do that? The clients that I have doing it they're like, I am willing to pay the 0.9% difference just for the ease and convenience, again, of not writing these checks, chasing down vendors to maybe pay them in person or whatever. But they're really doing it just for the time factor, and they're capturing that. They also see the value of the 2%, obviously. That can be significantly more than 2%, depending on how you're using those rewards. Also, if you're not taking advantage of, say, a vendor's offered a discount if you pay within 10 days, now you can pay that vendor within 10 days, still put it on the credit card. Now you have up to the 55 days for float with our card. So our card, you would get a statement. This is what you spent the last 30 days. You have 25 days to pay it. So you got a maximum of like 55 days of float. So you could, take advantage of a little bit of float there. Both our cards are pay in full cards, so they are due at the end of the 25 days. So I think I didn't mention that earlier. But again, so this pay vendors is just really more about a convenience factor of not writing a bunch of checks or taking advantage of some early discounts if you're not already doing that. Great program that we've been partners with these guys for a little bit over a year as well. So that is pretty much all I have, Amanda. So happy to answer any questions if anybody's got one. And if anybody wants more information on our program, or I'm happy to dig in and answer questions about the competition as well, if I can. But basically, just you can reach out to me via email, phone, text, whatever works. If somebody is interested in one of our Capital One cards, the application link would come from me via email. The application takes like 5 minutes to fill out. So
we do have one question, Rob.
Yeah.
What card would you suggest for a new small business in roofing, like a roofing company, a new small roofing company business? What would you suggest just starting out? Yeah.
So it depends a little bit. So that last thing I mentioned about our card being a pay in full card. If a new company, typically sometimes a lot of new companies, depending on how you're funded, right? if you're looking for a card that you can, sometimes you just don't know if you're going to have the cash flow, which I totally understand, especially with a new business. If you don't think you're going to have the cash flow, if it's like something that you need to make a minimum payment for, then one of these cards, one of our cards, these Capital One Spark cards, is not the right fit, because they are due in full after that 25 days after the statement. And the problem is after, if you don't pay them within the 25 days, it is only a 2.99% fee. But the problem is, if you don't pay, they start restricting your cards, and all of a sudden you're going to be sitting there without a card program. So
Yeah.
So again, if it's a new company and you're looking more, hey, I might have to make a minimum payment sometimes, just because cash flow is not coming in. I know I've done the job, I'm waiting on the payment, and you're not cash flush enough to be able to have confidence to do that. Then there's other card programs out there that you can do that have minimum payments, and there's a lot of them. So these are really, these cards, and like the Amex and like the Bank of America card that I shared with you, are really just meant to take advantage of the 2% cash.
Yeah.
You're paying the bills anyway. Why not get paid back on some of it?
You're absolutely right. Wow. All I can say is wow. Thank you, Rob, for all the information provided for the RCW members and the opportunity to know more about spending and various card options, credit limits, and benefits with Capital One, redeeming cash rewards for tickets to the All-Star game in Seattle and other events, and booking trips. Makes me want to spend money with Capital One.
There you go.
Thank you so much for providing us with the advantages of using Capital One. It's amazing, and we appreciate your time and you being here today. So thank you again. I do want to mention that we do have an RCW annual golf tournament coming up on June 23rd at the Auburn Golf Course. Come one, come all for a great day of networking, amazing food and fun events, and the ability to win thousands of dollars in raffle prizes. Please register online at rcaw.com or call our office at 253-561-7229. We hope to see you there. Have a wonderful week. Thank you again, Rob, and enjoy your day.
All right. Thank you, Amanda, and look forward to supporting your organization this year and years to come.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and you will be at the golf tournament. So we're excited to have you there.
For sure. All right.
All right. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you.